What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 234 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs, excuse me, by the end of the year. Only time will tell, but as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because because less than 65% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is basically today's video. But the question of the day is this: should CM Punk replace Shawn Michaels as Chief of NXT? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Apparently, Shawn Michaels is open to having CM Punk replace him as Chief of NXT? What's that about? Well, obviously you guys know that Shawn Michaels has been, I believe, oh, what's his name? His oh my god, I'm trying to I need to look up Shawn Michaels. Here we are. Here. So obviously you guys know Shawn Michaels has been the Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative Development Creative, and he has been overseeing the creative aspects of NXT over the last couple of years, mainly because of the fact that Triple H had his cardiac his heart problems, I guess, if you will, and and it's pretty it's crazy because when you look at what Shawn had been doing with NXT over the last couple of years, he has done an amazing job with NXT, and he's been from what I've been hearing, he's been pretty much open on in regards to his time in NXT, um, as like the as part of the NXT roster, and it's crazy because um when you look at what he's done over the years, I mean his records pretty much speaks for itself. It legit goes all the way back to when he first started wrestling, all the way back in the NWA, I think it is. Yeah, 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 pretty much all the way back to his days in the NWA, Texas All Star Wrestling, um, a AWA, American Wrestling Association, WWE, all of that, all of that. He's done a lot for the business, and I think Triple H made the right call, um, by making him, um, as the name suggests, senior vice president of talent development, creative, and overseeing the creative aspects of NXT. However, there's been a lot of chatter going around saying that Shawn's been open to he's been openly discussing the possibility of CM Punk replacing him as that vice president of talent development, creative, um as chief of NXT, mainly because of the fact that from CM Punk had been open about that, about his love for NXT, and and the fact that he's been friends with both Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, who we saw last night on NXT, get their asses handed to them by none other than Julia and her old friend Stephanie Vacour, who next week Stephanie will be facing off against Ren Sinclair of the No Quarter Catch Crew, which, woo, that's gonna be a fun one. Um, however, however, um, however, what's even more interesting is that Shawn even also noted that CM Punk wouldn't be the only choice available to WWE, and that he's not even sure whether or not the comeback hero would be interested in that sort of role. However, however, HBK does believe that he would be great at it. And funny enough, he was actually on the Ring of Wrestling show, and he's big shout out, no copyrights as always, and he said that NXT's atmosphere is infectious, and also too, he also noted that NXT became the brand that reminded Shawn of why he fell in love with with professional wrestling to begin with, and he understood if any main roster veterans visiting caught visiting developmental caught the same bug, and Punk seems to have had a pretty good rapport with several NXT talent, of course. Too obviously, I'm mentioning Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, just to name a few. So it's pretty crazy because it's pretty crazy because when you look at what NXT has been doing over the last couple of years, it's just been pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, ever since Shawn, since Shawn Michaels took over NXT a couple years ago, back in 2022, a lot has happened since then. Carmelo Hayes became NXT champion. Ilya Dragunov became NXT champion. Um, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker became NXT Tag Team champions. We saw the debut of Julia. We've seen a lot of talent, um, get their shot at not just at championship gold, but also at but also at at the main at the main roster as well. Obviously, we saw Carmelo Hayes as the NXT champion, face off against Finn Balor at one point. We saw the Raw after WrestleMania this past April. Roxanne Perez facing off against Indy Hartwell in a rematch from both of their days together in NXT. A lot has happened, and I think with CM Punk running NXT as the chief, as excuse me, as the chief of NXT, or as I like to say, the commissioner, if you will, of NXT. I feel like it could really open a doorway to even more possibilities. Think about this. NXT and TNA had done so well together, throughout the entire summer. Jordan Grace challenging for the NXT Women's title at Battleground. We saw Joe Hendry, challenge for the NXT title at was it last month at No Mercy. A lot has happened because of Shawn Michaels, and if CM Punk became chief of NXT, this would open up a door for more promotions to want to work with WWE, to want to work with NXT. Promotions like GCW, Defy Wrestling, ICW, WXW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and hell, and shit, for all we know, maybe even as well AEW. I mean, we could potentially see, I don't know, what's that one guy's name? The guy with the half face paint, Darby Allin, I think was his name. From what I've seen on social media, I think it's his name. Darby Allin and I don't know, maybe I don't know, Dominic Mysterio. I don't know, or perhaps, what's that one guy's name? That one buff dude, something Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, I think was his name. We could see him against Braun Breaker or something. That could be pretty interesting. Or perhaps, no, better yet, even better, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Roman Reigns. That right there would be interesting. Or we could even also see MJF against Seth Rollins. That could be a pretty cool one. Again, the possibilities are out there, but we gotta talk about the pros and cons of the idea of Punk running NXT. Starting with obviously the pros, the pros, and as I mentioned just a second ago, it it opens up doors for other promotions to work with NXT, not just AEW and New Japan, but also the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. They've been around for quite a long time, and I think they disbanded a number of years ago before bringing it back. I actually want to see about that. If I remember correctly, they kind of disbanded a long time ago. But for those who don't know about the National Wrestling Alliance, this was actually created. This actually started all the way back in 1948. 1948, just a few years after World War II, which is pretty crazy. And over the years, I mean, it featured a lot of great talent. Guys like Luthez, Luthez, let's see here, Edward Carpenter, Vern Gagne, I believe is his name, but Buddy Rogers, a lot of crazy people. And then I believe they disbanded. A long time ago, I believe. Yeah, I think they disbanded and then brought it back later on. But yeah, the NWA has had a lot of crazy champions over the years, and again, as I stated, it would open up a doorway for promotions like AEW, New Japan, the NWA to show up and showcase their talent to NXT. Maybe we might even see the current NWA World Champion for all we know, which I think is EC3. We might see him come back. Who knows? But another major pro in the idea of Punk running at NXT are the ratings. I think with Punk running at NXT, ratings can go up over time by at least 38% at the most. Where I believe with last night's NXT, I think it can only generate like maybe 730 viewers, live viewers from what I heard. I've been trying to find that out, but I think but yeah, I think it drew in like a little over like 780 some thousand viewers, which in my opinion is a bit of a downgrade for NXT, simply because of the fact that you look at how far and how many viewers NXT generated from last week in the premiere, and I feel like with that many views from last night's NXT, it's definitely going to, as I said, convince WWE, convince the network executives to potentially move away from NXT, and NXT would be forced to go somewhere else. However, with CM Punk potentially running NXT as chief of NXT, ratings can go up and up, which obviously would generate more viewers, which obviously for WWE generates more money. But what is the con of CM Punk running NXT? Honestly, I think the biggest con and the only con of Punk running NXT definitely going to be ratings. It can either go up or it can go down. If it goes up, it can go up by at least 30, at least like 23 to like 49% at the most. But if the ratings go down because CM Punk is putting putting on practically the same show every single week, ratings are gonna go down by more than 40%. Compared to the premiere episode, it could go down to less than 500,000, which again forces the CW executives to try and move away from NXT. But honestly, I think it's gonna be interesting over time to see if Punk will run NXT. We don't really know for sure. Obviously, this is still relatively new, so we don't really know for sure. But as of right now, CM Punk is at the point in his career where he just got done dealing with Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell, mind you. And I think for him, the only thing that matters most is main eventing WrestleMania and becoming world champion at WrestleMania in the main event. And I think if he can do that at next year's WrestleMania in Vegas, hands down, CM Punk will definitely have completed his career, and there will be nothing left for him to do. He would have done everything that he set out to do, and I think that point would be when CM Punk would consider running NXT. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this whole thing. I'm very curious because I think honestly it could be interesting to see how Punk would run NXT. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.